So in this video, I thought to maybe take it one step further. So if you didn't watch the kind of introduction to Diagnostic Plot last week, you should go ahead and watch that video. That should be Tip Tuesday number 90. But in this video, I'll show a little bit of the more advanced functionality here in the Diagnostic Plot. So again, this template dropdown right here essentially has all the default templates in the software and all the default templates that is either company-wide or that you created yourself and are private. And you'll see who the company or the template owner is under here. What I wanted to do now is just pick one of these default, or actually let's do this. We'll take this a template right here. We'll do a couple of things. We'll add axes. So let's say I would like to, in addition to plotting pressure normalized rate, maybe I'd like to also plot GOR on a secondary axis. And I would like that to be on my right side, not on the left side, right here. So then I can go in here, click GOR, and I also would like to have GOR versus regular time. So I'll just find that under inputted production data. And here you can see there's all kinds of GORs, and I'll pick my stock tank GOR right there. I'll also provide some minimum and maximum values for the GOR. Here I can also go and say, would I like the scale to be linear or logarithmic? So in this case, I'd like to change both of them to logarithmic just for fun, and I can click save, and we're then off to the races. And then you see a lot of things are happening on the screen at the same time. We now have two new curves right here. They are the GOR curves, and they are plotted on the axis over here to the right. So when I scale those up and down, you see that they scale individually from scaling the two curves here to the left. But the same thing goes here. If I want to edit this to just, for instance, be circles and no lines, I can go here and say I would like to set all the lines on the stock tank rate to be no lines, and I like the rest to be circles. And maybe here I see that these are spread in terms of colors and these are not. So I'll go ahead here and say spread the colors for all the rates like this. So that's one way of doing it, or I could set them back into being default colors. Okay, so that's also another way of doing it. So now we kind of learned a couple of things. We learned how to add an additional axes on the y-axis. We learned how to change the scale from linear to logarithmic, and also if we'd like to make it the location right or left on the axis. I can actually have several axes also on both the left side and the right side. So that's one thing. You can also do the same thing here. So if I go in and say, okay, I would like the linear scale on the x-axis to be logarithmic, and then click save, that's a way for us to change our scale on the x-axis as well to be basically a log plot. And now you see that maybe some of this is getting a little bit busy, so I can go ahead and say, okay, I would like to move some of it, and this can be my diagnostic plot for this guy. Okay, the last thing that I probably like to show here is this function called aggregate. And what this aggregate function is that it simply is just superposing the data. Okay, so if I do aggregate for these particular wells, it will take a little bit of time to calculate it. But on the GOR, it will basically aggregate all the stems into one for either two wells or a bunch of wells. So the stock tank GOR here is basically averaged by taking the cumulative oil and the cumulative gas for every day, and then adding them together and divided by the GOR for the two wells. In this case, if it was 3, it would be 3. And the same thing goes for the pressure normalized rate. It's just superposed the same the two wells and their individual pressure normalized rate.